Content warning. This video contains mention of institutional abuse and outdated and hurtful language and may be disturbing to viewers. Sign reading Pownell State School.
It was like going to a strange place.
Paul Easton, former Pineland resident.
Long
rows of dormitory beds.
I had to get used to the place.
In 1908, an institution for people with developmental disabilities opened in the state of Maine. George Zitnay, former Pineland superintendent.
As we drove around the grounds of Pineland, and when you first approached Pineland, it really looked like a prep school, with the administration building in front, very nice lawns, no flowers though, but it looked like a prep school. But as you got into Pineland, you knew perfectly well it wasn't a prep school.
The Maine School for the Feeble-Minded was built to house those society deemed deficient under the guise of safety for both the residents and for the communities that feared them. November 1912 newspaper headline, Maine's Home for Feeble-Minded. Jim Reed, former Pineland resident.
It wasn't very good.
Pineland kitchen workers, 1950s.
In Pineland. I'll tell you that. Food was no good.
Residents walking outside in the snow.
That's for sure. They locked the door on me. I couldn't go out.
For 9 decades, Pineland Center existed, and within its walls, isolation and abuse happened under the pretense of treatment. John Stanley, former Pineland resident.
Sometimes if you're really out of it, you have to have 3 people to hold you down.
John Kerry wrote Expose on Pineland.
There was no humanity. There was no dignity.
Charlie Wyman, former Pineland resident.
They put you in that bathtub, put ice in it, and then strap you.
Diane Atwood, reporter.
So what they would do is if a kid was bad, they might haul him in here, fill that with ice water.
Yeah, put ice packs on you. And then strap you, and that don't show. If they get you fresh cold enough, it doesn't show.
Nurse and doctors gathered around child in bed, 1950.
Of course, you never would have expected what actually happened up there, with the...
Vicki Schad, sister of Pineland resident.
With the abuse and all that. That would never be anything that we would ever have exposed him to if we'd known.
It took self-advocacy, investigative journalism, and a massive class action lawsuit to create better options in the community. And we still have far to go. John Stanley, former Pineland resident.
There's less people living here now.
Where have they all gone, do you suppose?
They're gone out in the community.
Conrad Boulay, former Pineland resident.
Well, let's say you had your choice. Would you like to come back and live at Pineland now the way it's changed, or would you rather stay in Anderson?
I'd rather stay where I am.
Dr. Al Anderson, former director, Bureau of MR.
To this day, I still cannot justify large congregate living. I can't.
Allison Morrill, former Pineland advocate.
Why are we there at all? What is the rationale for keeping people in this institution?
Neville Woodruff, lead counsel, Pineland lawsuit.
I knew that the danger in any kind of institutional litigation was that you'd be very successful in the institution and they'd just open the back door and shovel the people out, and you'd be left with a marvelous empty institution. And then the problem would be out in the community.
John Stanley, former Pineland resident.
Well, does that mean you want to come back to live?
Yeah.
You want to come back to Pineland?
No, I don't.
To live?
No, I don't.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't want to come back here.
Residence and cafeteria, 1950.
I'm never going to go back there.
Jim Reed, former Pineland resident.
They closed it down for good.
This summer, a virtual exhibit will strive to tell the story of Pineland through the voices of those who lived it and the policies pursued by those in power. Neville Woodruff, lead counsel, Pineland lawsuit.
Immediately you start thinking, well, what could it be like and what should they be doing here?
Marianne Preble, former Pineland resident.
They put me there and they went off. And it hurt. It hurt me so that, it wasn't my kind of place to be in.
Charlene Kinnelly, former Pineland superintendent.
That what we've built is so terribly fragile and so close, it could so easily disappear with just like that.
Wilfred Poulin, former Pineland resident.
I don't like Pineland. I like where I am.
Out of the Shadows, the legacy of Pineland. Coming summer 2021.